It was supposed to be a typical Friday night taping of Real Time with Bill Maher, the kind of episode where celebrities spar, laugh, and occasionally drop a soundbite that lights up social media. Jennifer Lopez, always polished and commanding, entered the studio ready to discuss her new film and emotionally charged drama about second chances and, perhaps, shed light on a few philanthropic projects close to her heart. She had done shows like this countless times. This was just another sit-down. Or so she thought. Asterisk, she wore a crisp white pantsuit with gold buttons tailored to perfection, her hair pulled back in a sleek ponytail. Her team had prepped her for standard questions about her acting, music, and maybe her skincare line. The audience applauded as she joined Bill Maher on stage, and for a moment, everything felt routine. Lights, camera, charm. Asterisk, Maher began politely enough, complimenting her longevity in showbiz and her ability to reinvent herself. Lopez responded with a gracious smile, weaving in mentions of the film she was promoting, her Bronx roots, and the causes she was passionate about. But the pleasantries didn't last long. Asterisk, so, Jennifer, Maher said, adjusting his tie with a wry smile. You're more political now than ever. At what point did you decide Instagram activism paid better than albums? Asterisk, the laughter that followed was awkward, hesitant. Lopez paused, her smile fading. Excuse me, she said, her tone neutral but icy. Asterisk, I'm just saying, Maher continued. You've got a cause of the week vibe going. Climate change, voting rights, women's rights, it's a lot of hashtags for one person. Feels like branding more than belief sometimes. Asterisk, a few gasps erupted from the audience. Lopez blinked slowly. The lighthearted atmosphere was gone in an instant. Are you suggesting I only care about these things when it benefits me? Asterisk, well, yeah, Maher said bluntly, shrugging. You don't strike me as the kind of person who's losing sleep over policy details? Asterisk, Jennifer leaned forward slightly, elbows on her knees. You don't get to question my sincerity because I also happen to wear designer dresses and have a perfume line, she said, her voice steady but sharp. Women, especially women of color, can be glamorous and give a damn at the same time. Asterisk, the audience broke into applause, though Maher looked unimpressed. He doubled down. Asterisk, I'm just saying, it's hard to take activism seriously when it's filtered through so many publicists and product placements. You say empowerment. What does that even mean when you're selling it between commercial breaks? Asterisk, now visibly angry. Lopez didn't look away. Do you talk to male guests like this? She asked. Because I've seen you chat with actors who can't even spell activism, and you nod along like they're the next Socrates. Asterisk, the tension was thick now, almost unbearable. Even the camera operators looked uncertain, unsure whether to zoom in or cut to commercial. Jennifer's publicist stood frozen just off stage, mouthing, "Don't engage." But Jennifer wasn't backing down. You invited me here to talk, not to be insulted. You may think you're being clever or edgy, but what you're doing is minimizing everything I've worked for, not just as an artist, but as a woman who's tried to use her platform for good. Asterisk, good intentions don't always equal depth. Maher quipped. Asterisk, and cynicism doesn't equal wisdom. Lopez fired back, standing up. If this is what your show is about, now mocking people for caring, then I'm not the one who should be questioned. Asterisk, the silence in the studio was deafening. Maher, caught off guard, tried to salvage the moment with a smirk. You sure you want to walk off? People might say you can't handle tough questions. Asterisk, I can handle real questions, she said, removing her mic and tossing it gently on the seat. What I won't do is sit here and let you turn my work into a punchline for your ego. Asterisk, she turned and walked off, heels clicking with precision. Leaving Maher alone on stage, the audience was split between stunned silence and murmurs of approval. The producers scrambled behind the scenes, whispering into earpieces and trying to determine what would go to air. Asterisk, by the time she stepped into the hallway, her phone was already buzzing. News alerts, tweets, camera flashes from paparazzi waiting. Outside, something had shifted, and not just in the studio. Asterisk, Jennifer Lopez hadn't just walked off, real time. She'd walked straight into a media storm backstage. Jennifer Lopez sat in the green room, still fuming, her palms flat against the marble table as her team surrounded her in stunned silence. No one dared say much at first. Her makeup artist handed her a bottle of water, and her publicist looked like she was reviewing 10 different crisis strategies at once. But Jennifer wasn't rattled. She was clear. I'm not apologizing, she said firmly, eyes focused on her reflection in the mirror. Not for speaking my truth. Not for walking away. Asterisk across the building, Bill Maher's dressing room. Door was shut tight. The host leaned back in his chair, watching the footage of the segment on a monitor. Lips pursed, arms folded. His executive producer knocked once before entering. Asterisk, well, the producer muttered. That was a hell of a moment. Asterisk, Maher didn't look away from the screen. She took it way too personally. Asterisk, maybe, the producer said. Or maybe you hit a nerve you didn't have to hit. Asterisk, Bill sighed and rubbed his face. He was known for pushing boundaries, for poking at ideologies and peeling back public personas, but this time felt different. The tone online was already shifting and fast. Asterisk, by the time the episode aired. Edited as lightly as legal could allow, social media had erupted. Clips from the confrontation dominated every platform. TikTok users dissected the exchange frame by frame, while Twitter, now X, was ablaze with hashtags. Hashtag JLO walks off. Hashtag respect Latina voices. Hashtag Maher misstep. Fellow celebrities began weighing in, adding fuel to the fire. Viola Davis posted a photo of Jennifer with the caption, "Never apologize for knowing your worth. Walk tall." Lin-Manuel Miranda tweeted, "Jennifer Lopez is more than a brand. She's a movement." That conversation should have elevated her, not tried to shrink her. Asterisk, even people who weren't necessarily J.Lo fans chimed in, many agreeing that the line between tough questions and condescension had clearly been crossed. A viral post read, "Women of color don't need to prove their intelligence to men who've made sarcasm their entire personality." Asterisk, Jennifer kept quiet for 2 days. She didn't post, didn't release a statement, and ignored the avalanche of media requests. That silence only made her eventual response more powerful. Asterisk, on a calm Sunday morning, she posted a short, unedited video on Instagram. No glam team, no background music, just her in a casual hoodie, hair in a messy bun, sitting on a couch with sunlight pouring in through the window behind her. Asterisk, I didn't walk off because I was angry. She began looking directly into the camera. I walked off because I've learned after decades in this business that not every stage deserves your voice. Some platforms don't want to hear you, they want to humiliate you. And I've worked too hard, fought too long, and stood too proud to let anyone, reduce me to a punchline. Her voice trembled slightly, but not from weakness, from conviction. I'm Latina, I'm a woman, I'm an artist, a mother, and someone who believes deeply in causes bigger than myself. If that makes me an easy target, fine. But I won't sit silently just to avoid making people uncomfortable. Asterisk, within hours, the video had over 50 million views. It was reposted by politicians, activists, journalists, and fans across the globe. Even critics who had once dismissed her as just a pop star were forced to reevaluate. Asterisk, meanwhile, behind the scenes at HBO, executives were in damage control mode. Emails were flying. Sponsors were calling. One internal memo leaked to the press read, "We underestimated public sentiment. There needs to be a course correction." Asterisk, Bill Maher, never one to backpedal, opened the following Friday's episode with a visibly restrained tone. "So, last week got a little heated," he said, looking straight at the camera. "I like to ask tough questions. It's what I do, but I'll admit maybe I came in too hot, and I regret if I made Jennifer feel disrespected. That wasn't the goal." It wasn't quite an apology, but it was as close as Maher had come in years. Jennifer, however, had already moved forward. That same week, she made a surprise appearance on The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. The mood was warm, genuine. She laughed, told stories, shared her grandmother's advice, and finally got to talk about her film and activism the way she'd intended to. Asterisk, some people try to talk over you, she said to Trevor, but the best thing you can do is speak louder by standing taller. Asterisk, the ratings for that episode broke records. Brands reached out for partnerships. Her film's trailer doubled in views overnight. But more importantly, the world saw something deeper in her than just music and fashion. They saw courage, clarity, and someone who, when pushed, didn't crumble but rose. Asterisk, in the end, Jennifer Lopez didn't just walk off a stage, she claimed her own.